5,000 people took to the streets in Mexico City in early August for the first international march against stigma, discrimination, and homophobia. This man from India lives his life as a woman. He told an AIDS foundation that provided this video that he was here with drag queens and sex workers to make a point. The activists from more than 100 nonprofit groups denounced discrimination against people they say are marginalized by society.
The biggest thing is I'm a transgender, and this is one of the marches, historic march, first of its kind to reduce homophobia and stigma in the field of HIV/AIDS. And that's why I'm over here to contribute my contribution for this march and solidarity for this cause.
The rally took place at a time when the UN estimates 33 million people worldwide are living with HIV/AIDS. The number of new infections last year worldwide was 2.7 million. Those statistics are not lost on 39-year-old Moises Lopez Calderon, a longtime AIDS activist in Mexico City. Lopez Calderon is the director of a nonprofit group whose focus is on HIV education, especially among men having sex with men, or MSM. Today he's in the Zona Rosa, the center of Mexico City's gay community. He's surveying young men about a new trend of risky sexual behavior.
And I would like to know what you know about a certain word. I'll tell it to you, and you tell me the first thing that comes into your head.
He will compile the answers and put them into a pamphlet that his group will distribute to youth on the streets here. He says nonprofit groups stay in close touch with trends and can respond faster than government.
Administrations go through cycles, and each new administration arrives and tries to understand the problem. They spend a year trying to understand the problem. The second year they try to create solutions, and that gives them the rest of the term to get results. There's no continuity among administrations, and that continuity is what non-governmental organizations like ours can provide.
But Mexico is far from alone. A new report released at the recent International AIDS Conference by AMFAR, the Foundation for AIDS Research, finds that MSM is a large and growing portion of the AIDS epidemic in every region of the world. AMFAR CEO Kevin Frost explained that the problem is rooted in long-standing homophobic policies.
86 countries criminalize sex between men. That makes it enormously difficult to reach this population. More than 10 of those countries have laws which punish sex between men with more than 10 years in prison, and 7 make it punishable by death.
A co-author of the AMFAR report says his document presents a convincing case for large donors like the Global Fund for AIDS, Tuberculosis, and Malaria to redirect their efforts toward helping these men. Epidemiologist Chris Byrer.
And if they're not included in country proposals for money, to go back to the countries and say, why are you excluding men who have sex with men? Why? Because the epidemiology has told us this is the most at-risk group, and when we look at the services, we see that they're the most underserved group.
Byrer argues that failure to provide health care, prevention, and treatment for the MSM population amounts to nothing less than a denial of the basic human right to health care, and ultimately to life itself. Rosanne Skirble, VOA News, Mexico City.